Good morning car lovers, welcome back. Bobby Freeman here. Today my friends we're going to be looking at, as you can see behind me here, the wonderful looking Jaguar I-Pace. Now as you can see, I'll go from the side on view here, this was lent to me by Beadle's Land Rover, Jaguar Land Rover, who are now known as Group 1 I believe. So Beadle's Group 1, whoever you are, thank you very much. It's actually a courtesy car as you can see because my Jag's in for a service, so I thought to myself, well I might as well do a quick review on it while I've got the damn thing. And as my regular viewers know, I do have a soft spot for Jags. I think in terms of design, I think Jag have it hands down. We'll have a closer look at this thing in a minute, but I think every single model they do is just awesome, incredible to look at. And I have to be honest, when this one first came out, this is the sort of the latest updated version of it. When it came out first in 2019, I'm pretty sure it wasn't around in 1919. I wasn't 100% sure of it because it's so far removed from what Jag usually do. It's so different looking. I thought it kind of looked like a sort of a Honda or something, but the more I kind of used it and saw it around, I kind of just fell in love with it. It's because it's a kind of a, I guess it's a kind of a completely new shaped car. It's like, and I kind of admire that because they've taken, it's sort of an SUV. They've taken that kind of a sort of an SUV look and thought, well, you know what? We're not too keen on it. We're going to sort of sleek it, sort of smooth it out, making it a little bit more sleek. And it's made something quite amazing and something that I think looks really cool, particularly in these colours. So we're going to have a quick look at it now, have a drive of it and see if it's any good. So let's start at the front, shall we? As I said, this one has got the black pack on it, so it means you get these black sort of glossy grills like this. It's just like my Jag's got on it. Black wheels here and black sort of trim at the side, this nice little black bit here. So if you start from the front, massive great big grille there, and apparently, and obviously an electric car does not need a grille, but apparently the air sort of blows up and through here and helps with the aerodynamics and sort of with the downforce, and obviously that's same with the section down there below. Get these lovely vents here as well, all the same similar sort of things. Obviously we don't need to be cooling an engine in an electric car. So let's have a look at the side view. I'll sort of come out a little bit further so we can look at, and this is where I think this car really kind of shines. Look at it, it looks mean. It looks badass. You know me, I'm always looking to up my badassness in any way possible. Let's go for a bit of a close look. It is a little bit dirty, this car, I'm afraid, because it's been literally pissing it down here in London. Well, not literally pissing it, obviously, but it's been metaphorically pissing it down, so it is slightly dirtier than I like to ordinarily review my cars. Let's have a look at these lovely gloss black alloy wheels. I do like a black alloy wheel. I've come full circle on alloy wheels, to be honest. I've never really been, I didn't like them when I first saw them, the black ones that is. I just thought, I don't know, I thought a wheel should always be kind of, you know, sort of metallic and sort of shiny, but the more I've seen them, the more I absolutely love them now. I don't think there's a colour where they look bad, to be honest. And as I say, I've got them on mine as well. And this one, there we go, bit of Beadle. If you want to go check out www.beadles.co.uk, feel free. Nothing to do with Jeremy Beadle, the 1980s, what was it, prank show, and because he's dead. And as I say, you've got this kind of black, it would be glossy black, it's kind of a dirty black at the moment, but I love that, it's so cool. It's a little bit of sort of detail. I don't know what, literally they've just put that. I don't think it has any functionality, any purpose apart from just looking kind of cool. And while we're sort of here, we can have a look at these sort of cool handles as well. Obviously they sit flush when the car is locked, and when you unlock it they pop out. Another wheel there at the back. Traditionally cars do have wheels in the front of the back. I don't want to show off, but I do know a little bit about cars. Now this again is a bloody awesome angle. I think it's looking mate. Let's go a little bit closer here. Gloss black around the bottom here. Look at that shadow there. I could do a bit of not glove puppetry, what is it? Shadow puppet. Hang on, how do you do it? I want to get one of those things. Ooh, what is that? Some sort of reindeer, I don't know. So it's kind of mean and wide at the back and then sort of tapered towards the top. And if you have a look here, underneath the spoiler, there's kind of this sort of area here, and apparently you get a lot of downforce coming through here, so much so, not so much downforce, but you get sort of airflow coming through the back there, so which actually creates so much airflow that you don't need a back wiper. Apparently it sort of just sweeps the water off just by dint of going fast. But obviously that does make you wonder, well, what happens when you go slow? So you're still, if you're in a car park, you still won't be able to see out the back window, unfortunately. In terms of boot space, it's not bad at all. As you can see, we've got a big load of messy wires in here. So the charging, obviously paraphernalia. It's a great word, that paraphernalia, isn't it? Not used often enough, actually. I might make a note of it and use it more in conversation if I could quote Blackadder. But as you can see, a decent sized boot there. Obviously, it's going to be restricted to a certain amount because you've got the great big battery under there which is powering the car. But on the whole, not bad. So obviously, you've got the three-way split folding seats as well. And you've got a 12-volt charger here should you need to plug anything in that requires 12 volts. That is another door, that's a fake switch, and another fake switch over there. I don't know what that could possibly be, I don't know, but I'm sure it could be something if you wanted it to be. I also like this nice touch of the gloss black Jaguar here. It's almost like technically a Panther, I suppose, isn't it? So yeah, it's another cool little option which comes with the black pack, and of course the the sign there saying I-Pace. And it also sports the world's smallest spoiler. Well, I don't know that for sure, but it's one of the smallest spoilers I've ever seen, and I imagine, I can't go definitive on this, but I imagine it creates little to no downforce. So let's have a look at the interior, shall we? And this is where some of the major changes have happened. Not so different on the outside this variant, but inside, as you can see, this is a lot more high-end. I always think Jaguar kind of were slightly lagging behind the German rivals when it comes to interior, but now, honestly, they have easily come neck and neck, but to be honest, I think they've actually surpassed them. It's really, really high end. It oozes quality in the same way that the Germans do now. You've got this lovely kind of gloss black on here, beautiful kind of, I don't know if it's brushed aluminium. It's some kind of aluminium. I don't even know if it's aluminium. It's just kind of shiny metal. It's a nice looking shiny metal. It's just super nice. It feels, you know, it's not bendy. It's not plasticky. I've seen some reviews sort of pushing things like this and saying, oh, it's a little bit bendy. What is it, bollocks? Is it bollocks? It's absolutely rock solid, and this is kind of beautiful and padded. I don't know why you'd want a padded dashboard, to be honest, but I don't know, if you weren't wearing your seatbelt, I guess you would that would absorb some of the impact were your head to smash into it, although one thinks perhaps not enough to save your life. And it also has not one, not two, but 3 screens you can see here. You've got the main one here in the dashboard there, which has got the sat-nav in at the moment, but obviously you can change it to different versions, different sort of graphics, whatever you want. Then you've got the one down here. This is the latest version of Jaguar's infotainment system, which people sort of are quite critical of the infotainment system on Jaguar. They say, oh, it's a little bit laggy in that. They go, oh God, yeah, it's a little bit laggy. It waits for about a 0.1 of a second before it reacts. I go, oh, f off, seriously. What is wrong with you? Just, it's a couple of seconds. It's a couple. I'm having to move over here because the sun's shining through. As you can see, it's like not even a couple of seconds. It's microseconds. Don't be so bloody critical. I think it's really nice, and it looks really, really high end. As you can see, it's a big step up from the previous one, which is pretty good as well. And then down here we've got other options and the little screen here. This is option. Obviously, not all of them have that. Some of it's just buttons, but this one has. And yeah, that controls the sort of aircon and climate control. Most things are done on the infotainment system, but you've got these, obviously the dials here, the classic kind of dials, which I kind of like, because that's the sort of thing you're going to want to sort of possibly reach to when you're still driving, so you don't really want to be doing too much on the touchscreen. It's quite interesting. That's obviously set to the heated seats at the moment, but so that you press down to select the heated or cooled seats, but then you pull up, yeah, to select the climate control, which is really cool. And if they hadn't have told me that when I picked it up, I never would have worked that out. I don't think I've ever encountered a car that has involved pulling up as well as pushing in of knobs, if you'll pardon the expression. And a couple more buttons down here. You've got drive, then you've got the neutral, reverse. That's obviously all the different driving selections and park mode. Then different driving modes over here: sport, dynamic, and turn the traction control off. It's also got a really nice little area here, which is, don't know if you can see that, it's wireless charging under there. So you pop your phone under here. By the way, you can actually get this to this from there or there, and you pop your phone in there, wireless charging. It's all kind of like, it's like rubbery and texturized, so your phone's not going to go anywhere. And you've got a lovely, again, another little holder for the phone here. That's not going to charge your phone down there, it just holds it. Cup holders here with optional Oakley sunglasses. That's not available in all the cars. In fact, it's just available in this one at this moment. Then we've got the nice little, oh my God, that's really, can you see how far my hand goes down there? Wow. Oh, what's this? Oh, freebie. That really does. It goes down and then under as well. Can we get the phone down there? Sort of drop it in. No, you can't see anything. It's very dark. That's a waste of time. But it really does go all the way down. That's really nice. Then you've got another 12 volt socket there, a USB there, and a USB-C, which I don't like. Just for reference, it annoys me. I don't know why they needed. What was wrong with the normal USB? What was wrong with the normal USB that everyone's got? I know, let's change it to something that nobody's got. Brilliant. This one's got the two-tone interior. As you can see, you've got black, nice black dashboard. In my view, you always want to get a black dashboard. Even if you've got a light interior like this, go for the black dashboard, because you don't want that reflecting up against your windscreen. But as you can see, pure pure quality in this leather. Look at nice embossed bit of actually that's not embossed, that's what's the opposite of embossed, exbossed, outbossed, I don't know, but it's got a little Jaguar sign there, and the leather is really, really good. It's better than before, I think. It's kind of nice, sort of thick leather, and these bits here are really kind of, you can see how cushioned that is. Very, very comfortable, but very sporty seats as well, which is a nice combination. So moving into the back, as you can see, I am 6 foot tall. Well, you can't really see that, you have to take my word for it. I'm 6 foot tall, and it's not bad at all. I mean, it's not kind of XF kind of bags of knee room. By the way, someone's left a lovely little paper towel in there. Again, I don't know if that is standard. That is definitely an optional extra, but handy to have. But this seat is actually pushed quite a bit back, but I've still got a good few inches there, and it's a kind of a, I don't know if you can see, it looks, yeah, that kind of gives you an idea. It's a kind of a cozy place to be back here. Again, these seats, look at this lovely cushioning here, as well as the kind of the sporty sort of edges there. It's a very nice and cozy place to be. It's also got, if I go here, you've got this awesome panoramic roof there, which is really, really nice. Gets a lot of light in the back here, and it's just generally really, really nice. A lot of people complain that there's not much headroom here, but look, I say I'm 6 foot tall, and that's kind of the benchmark for being considered tall, and I've got a good few inches there to play with, and maybe that's because the panoramic roof gets slightly thinner, but I'm more than happy with this. I could sit here for hours and hours. In fact, I might sit here for several hours now just to prove it. And here I am, several hours later, and I am, as you can see by the smile on my face, I'm still happy. It's a very, very nice place to be. This is a, to be honest, I'm not sure what this little fellow is. What the? Okay, I should have done more research on this, but I quite like discovering stuff in real time with you guys as well. That is, what do we think that is? It's some sort of little cubby for something. It feels like there's some sort of socket in there. In fact, I probably shouldn't put my fingers in there. I'll probably get an electric shock. That says 5 volt. What could a 5 volt? Ah, it's a USB. It's a USB. You don't get that on other car channels, do you? You know, that's probably because they research things before they come out. I do some research, but obviously not enough. It looks to me like you've got a lovely little charger for your phone there as well. Are there any other sneaky chargers in there, sort of snuck around anywhere? I don't know, but if there is, I shall. You should be the first to know. And down here, as we can see, we've got heated seats in the back here as well, which is a real nice option to have. And then down here we have a USB. That's a USB-C, which I don't like. The 12 volt thing, which I do like, and another USB-C there. We've also got some sneaky little vents tucked in over here, as you can see. Meridian sound system again for people who like that. Obviously the customary handles here, which no one really knows what they're for, to be honest, but they're quite nice just to sort of sometimes sit like that in a sort of a manly way. And you've got the obligatory armrest here, if I can get it out. There we go, with the also just as obligatory cup holders there. Nothing fancy, no little compartments there like Mercedes do have, but it's quite a nice sort of size. You know, if you were wanting to rest your arm, I would say that. Look at that. Does that look rested? Looks pretty rested to me. I don't think you get any more rested than that. So there you go, armrest. Now the only tiny criticism I would give the Jag is the, as you can see, the I don't know if you can see it from that. Yeah, the rather minuscule back window there. But that's the price you pay for that sort of sloping, sort of sleek look of the car. But to be honest, aren't we mostly looking at the front window anyway? I think it's 99.9%. Personally, I spend looking at the front window and about 0.99, whatever it is, a very small amount of time looking out the back. And to be honest, you do have a standard reversing camera as well, so that kind of mitigates that, I think. Right then, enough fanning about, let's get the bugger on the road, shall we? So the first thing you notice is, as with many electric cars, it's very smooth. It's all just silent, silky, soft. Just the acceleration is just kind of effortless. It just kind of wafts along in that kind of electric car-y kind of way. But not only that, it's also kind of, the steering sort of feels a lot smoother than Jags of yesteryear. It's sort of the older Jags. In fact, my Jag XF, it's only 2019, but it's kind of a sort of, there was a little bit of a sort of, I don't know, a kind of a soft resistance there as you're driving, as you're turning, but this is perfectly smooth. The sun's going to go right into my eyes now. Whoa, that's not making good content. But yeah, definitely a kind of a much more smoother and refined drive than I've known before with Jags. And the driving position is kind of weird, kind of unique, because it's not quite on a level as an SUV, but it's not down as a saloon. It's kind of a sort of a, imagine a kind of a saloon car, but kind of on stilts, and it gives you some idea. It's kind of a perfect happy medium, actually. And the dash just seems to go for miles away. If you put like a pen over there and it rolled over towards the front of the windscreen, you ain't never getting that back. Even when the engine's off, I don't think I could even reach that far. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure that's the kind of compliment Jaguar are really looking for. But you know, I like to give thorough and in-depth reviews, even the stuff that people don't want to know. So as you can see, this is town driving, and we're just sort of tootling about. Tootling, that's a good verb, isn't it? I like to again, a verb that doesn't get used often enough. Tootling about the town, and it's literally using no charge at all. It's just cruising around, and it's on 186 at the moment. It's been on 186 for about the last at least 2 miles, I would say. And it kind of, as long as you just sort of tickle that throttle just very gently around town like this, it's going to go forever. So we're on the slip road here, and I put it in dynamic mode. I'm going to gun it up this slip road here because it's one of the few places in London where we get to actually try that. It's still on red. Here we go. It's on amber now. So just coming around the corner, make sure the amber's in, and we're going to gun it now. Ready? Here we go, and boom! Fucking hell! I tried to shout too loudly there because I blow my microphone out, but that, my friends, as you probably saw, my head swiftly whacked into the back of the headrest. Oh man, electric cars are seriously fun when you're doing 0 to 60. Now, unfortunately, because this is an electric car, and one of its downsides is I used about, I don't know, 100 yards there, I used about 4 miles of range. So everything comes with at a cost. So in terms of kind of ride, how it feels, it's beautifully comfortable. It just feels like it's kind of that sort of supportive firmness, but with a beautiful sort of comforting sort of comfortiness, a comforting softness, a kind of a sort of a softness, a mixture of softness and firmness, if you can, in equal measure, if you can imagine such a thing. Now, you might think a car like this is going to be a little bit kind of soft, a little bit floppy into the corners, but it's totally not. You can feel that kind of Jag sports car breeding in there. I'm just going to throw it into this roundabout here, and it's kind of, it just sits nice and flat. I'm going all the way around here. People don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, but it's absolutely, oh my God, that sun's there again. But it's really obvious Jaguar wanted to make this a firm and sporty SUV. Not firm to the point of uncomfortable, but kind of a nice halfway house. They didn't want it to be one of those sort of big, wobbly kind of, you know, school run mobiles. It certainly could be a school run mobile, but however, it's kind of, you can feel that sports car breeding, and it's kind of, you know, I mean, let's be honest, I'm not going to be doing 4-wheel drifts in this thing, but you feel pretty damn confident if you throw this into a corner, it's going to hold on and stay flat and, you know, keep you out the ditch. So let's talk electric stuff on this car. So the range on it, this is the biggest thing for me for electric cars, is the range, okay? Because at the moment, I think we're struggling a little bit, but this is not too bad. You know, some of those ridiculous cars you get coming out at the moment, they've got something silly like 150 mile quoted range, which turns out in real time to be about 90 mile, which to me, unless you're just tootling about in the city, that's kind of unusable. So this one is quoted by Jaguar at 290, okay? And again, this is not an exact science when you're telling me. You can't just give a number and it's absolutely accurate, because it depends on so many different things with electric, how many, you know, air conditioning, how you drive, the temperature and all this. So as a benchmark though, 290 is not bad, anywhere around 300, because in reality it's probably going to be about somewhere around 250. And I think as electric cars go, that's about as good as you're going to get at the moment. So that's, you know, I think Jaguar have done, you know, made a really good move there. Now in terms of charging, from the previous model, it's gone up from a 7 kilowatt to an 11 kilowatt. So that means it's going to go from 0 to 100. So this is like plugging it in on your driveway overnight in about 9 hours. So that's going to work all right for most people. If you're coming home at sort of 5 or 6, 7 o'clock, it's going to be back to 100% in the morning. And it's important that we say 0 to 100, because you don't really hear that quoted very often. Usually if you speak to car salesmen, they will say, they'll quote you from 20 to 80% from a supercharger, which is 15 minutes. But, you know, 20% to 80% is, you know, neither here nor there. What if I'm empty and I want to go to 100? And also, not many superchargers are available. So I think that's a really useful kind of figure and time frame to work by. So guys, to sum up, I think you can probably tell, I have always liked the Jag brand. I think every single one of their cars certainly looks amazing. I don't think you'll get a better looking car in all the sort of, if you look at all its rivals. And even now, maybe the interior struggled a little bit before. I think they were lagging a little bit behind, but as you've seen, it's truly exceptional inside and out now. So in terms of design, especially amongst the electric cars, because some of them are pretty goddamn ugly, let's be honest. Not mentioning any names. No, I won't mention any names, but this, I think, is hands down the best looking inside and out electric car you are going to get. And when it comes to drive, it's the same story. I've driven a few electric cars now, and I do really I've liked most of them, to be honest. But I have to say that as an all-round experience, this is truly something to behold. It's a masterpiece of engineering. It's a beautiful thing to look at, and the drive position is excellent. You know, the acceleration is absolutely awesome. The braking is great. The handling is wonderful for a car of this shape and size. And to be honest, if you wanted to ask my advice about which kind of, you know, sort of medium-sized SUV electric car to go to, for me, out of all the ones I've driven, it's a pretty easy choice. It is the I-Pace every single time. I love this car. I feel like I could just drive it forever. If I bought this, I don't think I'd ever want to sell it. It's kind of the only car you ever need. It's got a good bit of room in the back, plenty of leg room for, you know, sort of children, certainly children, and even tall lanks like myself, and just a gorgeous, gorgeous place to be. So, my friends, if you're looking for a electric, medium-sized SUV, my advice today is to get this and get it now. Get the Jaguar I-Pace, and indeed get it from Beetles, or they're previously known as Beetles, and now Group 1 Jaguar Group, because they are awesome. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you did, don't forget to express your enjoyment by clicking on the like button below this video, and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And indeed, if you want to support the show, head over to the Patreon page, or you can click the join button, oh god, click the join button below this video. But until next time guys, I'm Bobby Freeman. Drive safe.